1.
When is the man's appointment?
Good morning. I'd like someone to cut my hair, please. Can I make an appointment?
Certainly. Wednesday or Thursday morning or Friday afternoon?
On Friday, I'm going to go to France. What about Thursday afternoon? I'm afraid I have a meeting all day Wednesday.
Well, it's a little difficult, but if that's the only afternoon you can come, we'll see you then.
2.
Which is the aunt's postcard?
Look, Sandra, I got this really nice postcard from my aunt.
Oh, what a pretty village. And it's right by a river. Is it in the mountains?
Yes, but you can't see them in the picture.
Perhaps they're behind those tall trees.
3.
What time will the plane to Milan leave?
Excuse me, what time is the next plane to Milan?
It should leave at 7:15, but it's an hour late today.
Oh, that's a problem. If it doesn't leave until 8:15, I'll be 1 hour late for my meeting.
I'm sorry, sir. There's nothing I can do.
4.
Which present has the girl bought her mother?
Hi, it's me, Jane. I've got Mum's birthday present. I think she'll like it. Yes, that's right, a gold-coloured one. She's always writing letters, so she'll find it useful. I thought about a CD, but I'm never really sure what music she likes, and Dad's bought her a new pair of earrings for her birthday anyway. I'm sure she'll like what I've got her.
5.
What time will the pie be ready?
What time is it, Mum? Do you think the apple pie will be ready yet?
It's 4:35.
And the pie went into the oven at 4:15?
That's right. You could check it at 5 and turn the heat down a bit, but don't take it out until 20 past. That's 45 minutes to go.
OK. I'm hungry already.
6.
What time is the swimming lesson today?
Hi, Judy. Do you want to play tennis after school? Say about 4:30.
That would be fun, but I've got a swimming lesson. It's usually at 5:15, but it's half an hour earlier this evening at 4:45. It takes me ages to cycle to the swimming pool, so I really don't think I'll have time today. Let's try tomorrow.
OK.
7.
Which subject does the boy like best?
I really like the new IT teacher. Our project for this term is to design a new website. I've always wanted to know how to do that. The sports teacher is much more serious, but that's still my favourite subject. Last year, I used to really like geography, but the teacher we have now gives us so much homework.
8.
Which T-shirt does the boy decide to buy?
I'd like to buy a black T-shirt with short sleeves, please, large size.
I'm afraid the black ones have long sleeves, but we've got short sleeves in the lighter colours. Do you want a round neck or a V-neck?
It must be round neck. Let me think. OK, I'll take one of the short-sleeved ones. The colour's not so important, really.
I don't remember much of that lecture. The doctor gave me this medicine for my cough, but I don't like it. It seems to make me awfully sleepy, and I can't follow my lectures.
Well, if you don't take it, none of us will be able to follow our lectures. All we'll hear is you coughing.
Oh, dear. Do you think I'll annoy everybody?
Yes. You could study at home for a couple of days. You know, have some time off until it gets better.
Oh, I couldn't do that. I'd miss too much. and I get really uncomfortable when I have a lot of catching up to do. Last year I missed a whole week when I fell off my bike and had that enormous bandage on my hand. It took me ages to do all the work when I came back.
Oh, you worry too much. You can work at home. Just get Mr. Gray to tell you which parts of the course book we'll be covering and read it yourself at home. All he does is go through the book anyway. You might as well do it yourself.
Oh, that's a bit unfair. I think Mr. Gray's really nice. He's always willing to stay behind after class if you don't understand something.
Being really nice and never in a hurry doesn't make him a good lecturer. Anyway, I think you should look after your health first, and ours. If we sit in that small, hot room with you for the next 3 days, we'll all have your cough by the end of it.
Perhaps you're right. I don't care about myself, but I wouldn't like other people to blame me for their illnesses. I have got a bit of a temperature now, too. So maybe I'll go and see Mr. Gray after lunch and tell him I won't be at this afternoon's lecture.
Or the next 2. Come on, you've got to get better.
I suppose you're right.
Then we can all go out as we planned at the weekend.
OK, then. I don't want to miss that. And I do feel ill.
What shall we do tonight? Shall we go out somewhere?
No, I'm tired. I've had a really hard day.
That's a bit boring. Come on, let's go to a cinema or see that new play at the theatre.
Not tonight. Why don't we rent a video and stay in?
Well, I'd rather go out. But if you're tired, OK. So what shall we have? How about that new Italian film?
Oh, no. Far too serious for me. I'd fall asleep. Why can't we get something funny? A film with Rick Moranis or someone like that.
A comedy? No, thanks. I'm not wasting my money.
Well, I'll pay if you're going to be difficult about it.
I'm not being difficult. I just don't want to see a comedy.
Fine. Well, what else do you suggest then?
How about a Robert De Niro?
We've seen them all.
Maybe, but they're great films. Let's watch one again.
Now you're suggesting something that's a real waste of money. And I hate seeing films twice, you know that.
OK. What then?
Oh, forget it. We're obviously not going to agree anyway.
No, I tell you what. You go down to the video shop and choose a film. Whatever it is, I'll watch it.
Really? And you won't be difficult or make me feel guilty?
No! Go on, off you go. I'll make something to eat while you're out.
Great! See you in a few minutes then.
Bye.
Hi, Ben. Only one more week at college and then the summer holidays begin. Great, isn't it?
I don't know. It might get a bit boring. I don't think I've got enough money to go anywhere nice for a holiday this year.
It would be nice to have lots of money to spend, but a good holiday doesn't have to be expensive.
Oh, yes, it does. The best holiday I ever had was a few years ago when I went to Greece. I want to fly off somewhere hot and lie on the beach and go swimming.
Yes, well, I can't afford to do that either.
So what are you doing this summer?
I'm going on a walking holiday in Scotland with some friends. We went last year and we really enjoyed it. We walked all day and spent the nights in youth hostels. Why don't you come with us? We're going for 2 weeks. It won't cost much and you'll come home feeling really relaxed and fit.
I'm not sure. Walking all day sounds like hard work to me. And surely you're not hoping for lots of sunshine in Scotland?
It did rain a bit last year, but most of the time it was sunny. Anyway, it's not good walking in the heat. You have to stop all the time to rest and have drinks.
Well, I like the sun. And I like to stay in comfortable hotels, not youth hostels.
But they are comfortable. They're basic and the food's often not very good, but they're very clean and cheap. In fact, I prefer them to hotels because the people are always so friendly.
Maybe. Look, Lisa, thanks a lot for asking me, but I think I'll just stay home and get bored.
Right.
I was a small child when I left Vietnam and moved with my family to live in America. For me and my little brother, it didn't take long before we felt American. But for my parents and 2 older sisters, it was a different story. The biggest problem for my mother was the language. We were living in New York, and although there were quite a lot of Vietnamese families near us, they didn't work in the stores. This meant my mother had to take me with her when she went shopping, and I was usually at school. For my father, the most important thing when we arrived was to find a job. Luckily, he had friends who knew us in Vietnam, and they helped him get a job in a factory. It was hard for him to do that sort of work. In Saigon, he had been a doctor. My 2 older sisters went to high school. They worked hard and did well, and the school gave them extra English lessons. Even now, though, they speak with Vietnamese accents. My brother and I are lucky. We may look Vietnamese, but we speak with American accents. My family found the way of life very different. In Vietnam, my mother used to spend a lot of time visiting her sisters and brothers and looking after her mother and father. She feels quite lonely now. She says that in America you live inside your house, but in Vietnam you take your house outside onto the street and share your life with everybody. I don't remember that, but I do find the winters are quite hard to put up with in New York. It's very cold and snows a lot. My mother still wears traditional Vietnamese clothes at home and always cooks us rice and noodles. I must admit, I prefer burgers and chips. Although my friends like to visit us, I often feel a bit embarrassed by my parents' way of life. They don't understand Americans, and I think I am more American than Vietnamese now. I suppose it's sad for them to have such a strange daughter.
In American schools, almost every classroom is a mix of boys and girls. However, it was not always this way. In the past, schools did not teach girls subjects like science and math. In 1972, a law called Title IX was made in America. It gave girls an equal chance at education. Since then, boys and girls have been taught together. Recently, though, some schools are reconsidering separating classes. This is different than in the past, however. Girls still learn the same subjects as boys. They just study without boys in the classroom. Why? Well, scientists know that boys and girls learn differently. They also behave differently in the classroom. Boys are louder and more confident. They like to talk and show what they know. In general, girls are quieter. They prefer to listen and think carefully before they give their answers. When boys and girls are together, the boys can be too dominant. Also, boys and girls can bother each other. Instead of thinking about the lesson, they think about each other. In a separated classroom, they behave better and can focus on studying. Another reason for separated classes is that boys and girls often like different things. For instance, boys prefer stories with action and adventure. In an all-boys English class, the teacher can choose books that will be interesting to boys. This way, they will be more excited about the stories. Not all the classes are separated, just the main subjects, like English, math, science, and social studies. Still, some teachers think that separate education is not good. They worry that boys and girls will not learn how to work well together. Right now, less than 600 schools are trying separate classrooms. Time will show if it is a good idea or something that should be left in the past.
Now we are ready to start. Listen carefully.
Hi, I'd like to welcome all of you to the International Student Orientation at Norwalk College. I hope that your travels from your home country have been easy and that you are all settling in well. I believe I've met everyone, but just in case, I'm the Director for International Student Affairs, the person you can come to if you're having problems with your classes, your housing, visas. You're always welcome to stop by my office. We'll have several short workshops today, and we'll be talking about some common issues that international students face. The first one that I want to deal with is about communication, and in particular, nonverbal communication. Now, all of you have been studying English for some time. You have a good vocabulary, and you probably know all about verb tenses and modals and can ask directions and order from a menu. But communication is not only verbal. That is, talking is not the only language we use to communicate. Another way we communicate is through nonverbal communication, or body language. The term body language means the movements we use and the facial expressions we have, like smiling or frowning, the way we sit or stand, the way we touch or look at someone, the distance we stand from another person. Some psychologists say that more than 60% of our communication is actually done through body language. We do it without thinking or without ever having been specifically taught what the gestures or expressions mean. The problem is that body language is a little bit different in each culture, and this can often cause some problems with communication. Here's an example. In many places, it may be a little rude or disrespectful to look at another person directly in their eyes as you talk with them. So many international students will avoid this eye contact. But in America, we expect it. We think of eye contact as a sign of honesty and straightforwardness. American parents actually encourage their children to look people in the eye when speaking. Just imagine a conversation where an international student was trying to be respectful by not looking into the eyes of her American classmate. The American might wonder why her classmate wouldn't look directly at her, and the international classmate would be wondering why she was being stared at. The end result is an awkward and frustrating interaction. Oh, here's another one. Americans shake hands firmly when they greet each other because to Americans, a firm handshake signifies strength and power. But a soft or limp handshake is considered a sign of weakness. In some cultures, handshakes are less common, or a gentle, soft handshake is acceptable. So students need to know that when shaking hands, it's important to be firm. In America, a thumbs-up sign, a thumb raised in the air.
That is the end of part 3. Now you have 5 minutes to check your answers and transfer your answers onto the answer sheet. Now we are ready to start. Listen carefully.
1. What colour is Mary's coat?
Hi, Mary. What have you bought?
This coat. Do you like it?
Yes. Yellow looks good on you.
Do you think I can use my blue bag with it?
Your brown one will look better.
2. What did the woman repair?
Hi. What have you done today?
You know that broken shelf above my desk? Well, I repaired it and then I went shopping.
What did you buy?
A new chair.
3. What are they going to buy for Pam?
Last year we gave Pam a book for her birthday. Should we buy her another one this year?
I think we should give her a plant or some chocolates.
But she doesn't like sweet things.
Let's get her something to put in her garden, but not a book again.
4. What has the girl lost?
Can I help you? You look worried. Is everything all right?
Well, I was in the playground about 10 minutes ago with my friends, and I got a call on my mobile phone. I had to get a pen out of my bag to write something down, and I think my purse fell out. I can't find it now. Do you know if anyone has handed it in?
You know you're not supposed to bring phones to school. Anyway, let me go and check. What colour is it?
Which sport will the boy do soon at the centre?
Have you been to the new water sports centre yet?
Oh, yes, it's brilliant. There are 2 indoor pools, one for underwater diving and one for swimming. And you can also have sailing lessons on the lake.
That's what I'm doing there next weekend, actually. I was hoping to take water skiing lessons, but the leaflet says they're not starting those until next year.
6. Who lives with Josh in his house?
Does your house seem empty now your sister's left home, Josh?
Not really. My grandmother's moved into her room and she doesn't go out much. It's really nice having her there because my dad never comes home until later, and if my mum's out for the evening, Grandma cooks supper for me.
7. What will the girl take with her on holiday?
Have you packed for your holiday?
No, I need to go shopping before I can do that. Last holiday, my suitcase handle got broken, so I need something new to put all my stuff in. But suitcases are so heavy to carry.
I always take a backpack. You can carry more that way.
Yes, I thought about one of those, but good quality ones are expensive. I'll get one of those big sports bags. You know, one you can pull along. They don't cost much.
8. Where do the boys decide to go?
So, we've got 3 hours. Shall we go skateboarding in the park? What do you think?
Well, there's the latest space film, which is meant to be good. Or there's a new computer game shop which has just opened.
Oh, well, I haven't got enough money to buy a new game anyway. Let's go and watch the film.
OK, we can go skateboarding any time.
Good evening, Jeff.
Hi.
Perhaps you could tell me a bit about your background. Where are you from exactly?
Well, I was actually born in 1958, up in the north of England. My parents came to live in Britain after the war.
Sounds great.
We moved south to London after that. We were completely broke, and I did all sorts of odd jobs to try and make money.
Goodness, how dramatic.
But I was lucky. I discovered karate.
Ah, how exactly?
There was a school trip. Nothing special, really. But we went to this sports centre, and I just thought, that's for me.
Just like that?
Yep. Anyway, I started training. I found myself a Japanese coach, and things just happened. I found it came naturally to me, and I worked my way up till I found myself in Taiwan for the World Championships. That was in 1982.
And you won?
Yeah. Suddenly, I was world heavyweight champion. It was great.
and you were world champion at that weight 5 times in all?
Yeah, that's right.
And then you retired?
Well, I didn't have much choice.
And now you've got other projects on the go all around the country and even abroad.
Yeah, we're going from strength to strength.
Hello, West Bay Hotel. Can I help you?
Oh, good morning. I'm ringing about your advertisement in the Evening Gazette.
Is that the one for temporary staff?
That's right. Could you tell me what kind of staff you're looking for?
We're looking for waiters at the moment.
Right. What are the hours of work?
There are 2 different shifts. There is a day shift from 7 to 2 and a late shift from 4 till 11.
What about time off?
You get 1 day off.
Do you know what the rates of pay are?
Yes, I've got them here. You get £5.50 an hour, and that includes a break.
Oh, good. Yes, so let's see. I get £231 a week.
You'd also get tips. Our guests tend to be quite generous.
Is there a uniform? What about clothes?
Yes, I forgot to mention that. You need to wear a white shirt, just a plain one, and dark trousers.
One last thing. I don't know what the starting date is.
Just a minute. I think it's sometime around the end of June. Yes, the 28th, in time for the summer.
That's great. I'm available from the 10th. Well, thanks very much for your help.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, may I speak to the archives librarian?
I'm the archives librarian. What can I help you with?
Well, actually, I'm not a student here.
Are you the... Sorry, I don't remember your name, but the librarian over there asked me about giving someone access to the Jacobson collection. Is that you?
Yes, that's right. See, my paper is on the development of the coal mining industry.
Did your librarian explain what our system is here?
A little. She told me to make sure I brought my college ID so I could get in the door.
Yes, well, I'll need to take a copy of it, too. Even our own students who look at items from our archive collections have to leave a copy of their ID with us. You'll also have to sign into the archives room whenever you enter and sign out whenever you leave. There's a desk, for security.
I'll be careful.
Thank you. The other thing is, the things in the Jacobson collection are over 100 years old, so I'll have to ask you to wear special gloves while handling the books. Also, I'm afraid you won't be able to photocopy anything.
I figured that. Can I don't know, take a picture or something?
Well, I can't let you take a picture, but we have scans, images of all the pages in the collection.
Well, I guess given how rare these things are... Okay, so you want a copy of my ID, and then can you tell me how to get to the archives room so I can get started?
That is the end of part 2. Now turn to part 3. You will hear 3 different talks or lectures. In each talk or lecture there are 5 questions. For each question, choose the correct answer A, B, C or D. You will hear the talks or lectures only once. Now open your questions paper and look at talk or lecture 1. You now have 35 seconds to look through the questions and the options in each question.
Welcome everybody to this presentation about creating a corporate image for your company. I wonder if when you came in today you thought, hey, this guy hasn't got a suit on. This could be an interesting day. You see, I believe that the way you dress is very important. I decided to come here rather casually dressed, not because I wanted to make a fashion statement, but because I wanted to let you know that this is not going to be a formal presentation. On the other hand, I want you to work hard and get something out of the day. I'm not wearing shorts and a t-shirt, for instance. So, how would you describe the way I'm dressed?
Smart, but casual.
Exactly. But I also believe there are particular occasions when you need to wear a suit, such as meeting a client, especially if you expect the client to be wearing one. Which brings me to a recent trend which we've picked up from the Americans, Dress Down Friday. How many of you are dressing more informally on a Friday? Yeah, quite a lot of you. How many of you go as far as wearing jeans? Yeah, not so many. Probably many of that small group work in the IT sector? I thought so. So you see, it's not just the day of the week or what clients may expect of you, it's the business you're in. If, for example, you work in a bank, you're probably going to be in a dark suit every day of the week. And then there are those of us who are expected to wear a uniform. What you are doing here is projecting a very specific image of your company or service. Usually, it's to do with reliability, expertise and efficiency. Customers and the general public feel reassured about someone in a recognisable uniform. Dress Down Friday is a long way off for this group of employees. Now, let's have a look at other ways in which a company projects its image.
Now we are ready to start. Listen carefully.
Do you get enough sleep at night? Do you ever feel tired during school? You may not be the only one. According to the National Sleep Foundation, kids aren't getting enough sleep, and it's affecting how they do in school. Experts say that kids need about 10 hours of sleep each night. Your body needs sleep so it can rest for the next day. Animals need sleep to stay healthy. Cats and dogs sleep for about 15 hours each day. Sleep is also important for your brain. Just like your body, your brain needs a little vacation every night. Without enough sleep, students can't learn as well. They cannot pay attention, follow directions, or solve problems as well. Also, tired kids act in ways that they usually don't. They can easily get angry with their friends or get in trouble in class. Scientists at the National Sleep Foundation talked to 1,400 kids. They asked them about their sleeping habits. They found that about 70% of kids were not getting enough sleep. The scientists think that soda and television are part of the reason. Drinks like cola, coffee, and tea have caffeine in them. Caffeine makes people stay awake. Kids who had drinks with caffeine got less sleep than other kids. Television is also a problem. When kids watch too much TV, they have to stay up later to finish their homework. Scientists also found that many kids had a TV in their room. These kids often stayed up late to watch a show. So, what can you do to make sure that you get enough sleep? Try not to drink anything with caffeine, especially at night. Sleep experts suggest that you try to go to bed at the same time every night. Don't do anything exciting before you go to bed. For instance, don't watch a scary movie or exercise. Try to do something relaxing, like reading a book or listening to quiet music.
If you have ever seen the Northern Lights, you know that they are one of nature's most beautiful sights. People often describe seeing a faint glow appear on the horizon in the night sky. Then they may see wonderful colors such as green, red, blue, or purple stretch across the sky. The shape of the Northern Lights can be straight lines, or it may be curved like the letter S, or round, just like a wheel. The colored lights and shapes move across the night sky like ocean waves. No matter what the color or shape is, the Northern Lights are truly an amazing sight. Many people know them by their common name, the Northern Lights. But do you know the meaning of the real name? The scientific name for the Northern Lights comes from Latin. It is Aurora Borealis. In English, the Latin word aurora translates to dawn, which means early morning. The Latin word borealis means northern, so Aurora Borealis can be translated as northern dawn, which describes the look of the northern sky in the very early morning. If you have never seen Aurora Borealis, you are not alone. This natural phenomenon is not common in most parts of the world. In fact, many people travel or go on tours to places where they can see the Northern Lights. Where are these places? The best place to see Aurora Borealis is near the North Pole, the northernmost point of Earth, especially in areas such as northern Greenland, Scandinavia, and Alaska. Many years ago, before modern science, people developed stories, myths, and legends to explain natural phenomena, such as Aurora Borealis. Finnish people called them foxfires and believed the lights were caused when foxes made fires to keep warm. The Inuit people of northern Canada and Greenland believed that the aurora was the dance of animal spirits such as deer, seals, and whales. The way the Northern Lights work is similar to a neon sign. Gas travels along magnetic lines. The lights occur when electric particles, electrons, collide with gas atoms, causing the atoms to give off light. The result is the amazing sweeps and waves of color that you can see. It's a wonderful sight if you happen to be in the right place at the right time.
That is the end of part 3. Now you have 5 minutes to check your answers and transfer your answers onto the answer sheet.
1. What have they forgotten?
I've got the passports here.
And the tickets are in my bag.
What about the camera?
Oh, no! I've left it at home. And I really wanted to take some holiday photos. Two. What time does the train go?
Hurry up! We'll be late.
What time does the train go?
At 6:15. We've got to leave in 10 minutes.
I'm
nearly ready.
Three. How did the woman get to work?
Oh, the traffic's terrible today.
Yes, it took me 40 minutes by bus.
Well, I drove and it took me an hour.
An hour? It's probably quicker by bicycle.
Four. Where are the man's shoes?
Have you seen my old shoes? I thought they were under the chair by the television.
Not anymore. They're by the door with the other rubbish. I've been tidying the flat.
Well, the living room looks very nice, but you're not throwing my old shoes away, all the same.
Five. What will Paul get at the shop?
Right, now what do we need for this sauce so Paul can get it for me? Let me see. Onions, tomatoes, 1 red pepper, mushrooms and 2 carrots. So, what have I got? Onions, I've always got those. Tomatoes, yes. Red pepper? No, I'll need one of those. I've got mushrooms. Oh, dear, no carrots. Paul, could you go to the shop for me, please?
Six. How were they told to do their homework?
Wow, your homework looks great.
Thanks. I typed it on my dad's computer.
But didn't Mrs. Smith tell us we had to write it in our books?
Oh, no, you're right. Oh, what am I going to do now?
Seven. What did Helen buy?
Look, Roger, I've been shopping. They've got some great things in Style Right.
Hey, that's brilliant. Lovely colours, and it'll keep you warm in the winter.
Yes, but are the sleeves too short for me?
No, they look fine.
8. How did the woman get to work today?
Oh, I'm so sorry I'm late. I missed the bus. I was trying to decide whether to walk or go back and get my bike when I saw my neighbour. Luckily, he offered me a lift because he works near here.
That is the end of part 1. Now turn to part 2. You will hear 3 different conversations. In each conversation there are 4 questions. For each question, choose the correct answer A, B, C or D. You will hear the conversations only once. Now open your question paper and look at the conversation 1. You now have 25 seconds to look through the questions and the options in each question. Now we are ready to start. Listen carefully.
My daily schedule as a dental hygienist is a little complicated. That's because it's different every day. Monday, I don't go into work until late in the afternoon, so I have time to spend most of the day doing washing of clothes, shopping, and my banking. I leave for work around 4 o'clock in the afternoon and work from 5 to 9 p.m. Tuesday, I wake up at 6:30 a.m. and leave for work at 7:30. My first patient is scheduled for 8:15. Each patient is allotted 45 minutes. Lunch break is 12:30 to 1:30. I finish up at 5 p.m. and get home at around 6 p.m. Wednesday starts an hour earlier. I wake up at 5:30 a.m., leave for work at 6:30, and see my first patient at 7 a.m. I also finish early on Wednesday at 12 noon. Thursday is the same schedule as Tuesday. Getting up at 6:30 a.m., leaving for work at 7:30, and seeing my first patient at 8:15. I get home about 6 p.m. in the evening. Friday is another early start. I wake up at 5:30 a.m., leave the house at 6:30, and finish up my last patient at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I like to get finished early on Friday. That is a typical work week for me.
Now we are ready to start. Listen carefully.
Hi, sis. I just came over to drop off the DVDs you wanted, and... Hey, wow. Where did you get all this stuff?
I bought it. So what do you think of my new entertainment center? And the widescreen TV?
Bought it?
And my new DVD player. Here, let me show you my stereo. You can really rock the house with this one.
But where did you get the dough to buy all this? You didn't borrow money from Mom and Dad again, did you?
Of course not. I got it with this.
This? Let me see that. Have you been using Dad's credit card again?
No, silly, it's mine. It's a student credit card.
A student credit card? How in the world did you get one of these?
I got an application in the mail.
Well, why did you get one in the first place?
Listen, times are changing, and having a credit card helps you build a credit rating, control spending, and even buy things that you can't pay with cash, like the plane ticket I got recently.
What plane ticket?
Oh yeah, my roommate and I are going to Hawaii over the school break, and of course I need some new clothes for that, so...
I don't want to hear it. How does having a student credit card control spending? It sounds like you've spent yourself into a hole. Anyway, student credit cards just lead to impulse spending, as I can see here. And the interest rates of student credit cards are usually sky high. And if you miss a payment, the rates, well, just jump.
The credit card has a credit limit.
Of $20,000?
No, not quite that high. Anyway.
I've heard enough.
Did I tell you we now get digital cable with over 100 channels? Oh, and here's your birthday present, a new MP3 player.
Yeah. No, don't tell me. Charged on the credit card. Listen, hey, I don't think having a student credit card is a bad idea, but this is ridiculous. And how in the world are you going to pay off your credit card bill?
With my birthday money? It's coming up in a week.
Hey, let's sit down and talk about how you're going to pay things back. And maybe we can come up with a budget that will help you get out of this mess. That's the least I can do.
Hi, welcome to Joe's Hamburger Restaurant,
Hi.
home of the 1 pound super deluxe hot and spicy cheeseburger. Will this be for here or to go?
To go.
Okay, what would you like today? Would you like to try the 1 pound super hot and spicy cheeseburger?
I don't think so. I'd probably have heartburn for a week after downing that monster.
Well, it's our house special this week, and it comes with fries and a large specialty drink called Everything But the Kitchen Sink.
A what? Everything but the kitchen sink? What in the world is that?
Well, it's a little mix of everything in a large cup. Pepsi, Sprite, Fanta Orange, and lemonade with crushed ice and a scoop of ice cream.
Now that sounds disgusting.
Hey, it'll grow on you.
Nah, I think I'll just order a hamburger with some mustard and lettuce and a glass of water.
Boring. Hey, would you care for anything else, like a side order of amazing cheesy onion rings?
No, thank you. Onion rings usually don't agree with me.
Okay, your total comes to $10.90.
$10.90? For just a hamburger? You gotta be kidding.
Well, the 1 pound super deluxe hamburger is $9.
Hey, I didn't order a 1 pound burger. I just wanted a simple burger, that's all.
Well, sir, Joe's Hamburger Restaurant only serves 1 pound burgers.
Man.
The 1 pound super hot and spicy, the 1 pound barbecue burger, and the 1 pound bacon cheeseburger. The 1 pound...
No, those are all huge.
Well, sir, if you really want something smaller, you should order from the kids' menu. The half-pound super hot and spicy burger, the half-pound barbecue burger, the half-pound bacon cheeseburger, the half-pound...
No, those are still giant burgers.
Well, in these parts, we are hearty eaters.
Okay, but you said my total was $10.90, but the burger only comes to $10. What about the other 90 cents?
Well, sir, we only serve natural spring water from yonder hills.
Okay. I'll take the giant burger and a bottle of your spring water. The sandwich should feed me for a week.
That is the end of part 2. Now turn to part 3. You will hear 3 different talks or lectures. In each talk or lecture there are 5 questions. For each question, choose the correct answer A, B, C or D. You will hear the talks or lectures only once. Now open your questions paper and look at talk or lecture 1. You now have 35 seconds to look through the questions and the options in each question. Now we are ready to start. Listen carefully.
Hello, everyone. My name's Sandy Duffy, and I'm here to tell you about my career as a video game writer. I work with game developers and designers to think of good stories, and I write all the dialogue in the game. When I was in secondary school, I never imagined that I would do this job. I played the violin, and that's what I planned to do as my job. But I had an accident when I was playing basketball and hurt my hand, so I had to think of another career. My mother wanted me to be a journalist, but I didn't think it was for me. I didn't know what to study at university. I was good at lots of science subjects, including physics and maths, but I also loved entertaining people, and I was good at art. In the end, I went to film school where I studied lighting, special effects, how to use a camera, all that. It was there that I started to think about working in the video game industry. Now, a question that everyone always asks me is, how did you get your first job? Well, I had a friend whose job was organising conferences. At one of the conferences, she met a man who owned a company that made video games. I wrote to him and sent my CV. He obviously liked what he read because he gave me an interview and offered me a job as a junior. People also ask me what I like best about being a video game writer. Well, the money is good and it's quite exciting. Just last night, for example, I was at a big dinner where they were giving prizes for new games. But what I love is the fact that I get on so well with everyone in the business. That's what makes my job so much fun. Obviously, no job is perfect though, and there are things I don't like. I've just started a new job, and I have to spend a lot of time on the road or at the airport, which I find very hard. I'd really like to be able to spend more time at home.
Now open your question paper and look at Talker Lecture 2. You now have 35 seconds to look through the questions and the options in each question.
Do you want to take part in a trip of a lifetime? Then join Go for Health India. This amazing 5-day trek will take you through one of the world's most beautiful mountain ranges, the Indian Himalayas. You will also be helping raise vital funds for our charity, which aims to promote healthcare all over the world. The trip starts in the city of Delhi, where you will have the chance to see one of the charity's healthcare projects in action. The following day, we set off on our incredible journey into the mountains. During the trek, you will pass colourful towns and villages and enjoy the most magnificent mountain views. You will experience all this before you even reach the peak of our trek to see the stunning Dhauladhar mountain range. Once at the top, you can climb even higher if you want to, and experience walking on a glacier to reach Lars Cave. You will soon know what it feels like to be on top of the world. And on the way down, you will be able to admire the wonderful views across the valley. To join Go for Health India, all you need to do is pay an entry fee of £250. You also need to promise to raise a minimum of £2,500 before the start of the trip. Fundraising is part of the challenge, but don't worry, our fundraising team is on hand to help you. Once you have signed up, you will receive an information pack. This includes details of the trek as well as the work of the charity. It also contains useful tips and advice on fundraising, and you will also get a charity cap to wear with pride. You will also receive a full training guide, which will help you reach a reasonable level of fitness. Our top training tips will definitely improve your physical ability so that you can get the most out of the trek. The cost of the trip includes your flights, accommodation, food, tour guides, and medical support. However, please note that airport tax is not included. You will have to meet this additional cost yourself. Dates for this year's Go for Health India are the 3rd to the 13th of November. Visit our website www.goforhealth.uk and sign up today.
Here in India, people bought around 1.5 million new cars. This will probably go up to 3 million a year in the next few years. That's how the Indian economy is changing. Many Indians in the big cities are richer than ever, and they want to spend money on new products. However, most of the money is still in the big cities. There is still a lot of poverty in the villages and countryside. Now the government hopes a new road in India can help to change India's economy. The Golden Quadrilateral Road, or GQ, connects the country's 4 biggest cities: Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, and Kolkata. Hopefully, the road will carry business from the giant cities to the smaller and poorer villages and the other half of India's population. The GQ is nearly 6,000 kilometres long and the most high-tech highway in the world. At the administration headquarters in Delhi, you can watch thousands of vehicles moving around the country on a computer screen. If there is a problem anywhere with the road, electronic sensors tell the headquarters and engineers instantly drive there. When you drive on the highway, there is every kind of transport. There are animals pulling carts, motorcycles, lines of old trucks, and fast-moving modern cars. Sometimes the road goes right through the middle of a city, so there are often traffic jams and pedestrians trying to cross the 6 lanes. Industry is also growing along the new highway. When a large company opens a factory, lots of other smaller factories and offices also open. Trucks then drive and deliver all over India along the new highway. For India, all this is a symbol of the country's future.